Hello friend, welcome back. In this tutorial we will talk about everything related to SelectorSub plugin, SelectorSub XPath and cssSelector plugin because now we have lots of tools and plugins available under SelectorSub. So yes, so let's get started. We will see step by step each and everything, like how to install it and set up and then all the features of it. So first of all, like before we start, what is SelectorSub XPath plugin? SelectorSub XPath and Selectors plugin is a free browser plugin offered by SelectorSub, using which you can write, verify your XPath and any kind of selectors as well as auto generate the selectors. It also provides lots of another other features like debugger, access based XPath, and a lot more. It also support iframe, shadow dom, everything. Okay, great. Now, very simple to install and get started with this. You just have to follow these three steps. By the way, from the SelectorSub website, just search for selectorsub.com, and here the first is SelectorSub. Click on install and it will open this page. So here you have to, like, for whichever browser you want to use, it is available pretty much for all the browsers. So here, let's say we want for Chrome, Firefox, whichever you want, you can install and use it same way. So first let's click on this and install on Chrome. So here it opens the Chrome store and you click on add to Chrome, add extension, and it will add to the browser. Okay, now after adding it, you see that the selector sub logo is not visible here. So what you have to do, click here and pin it to toolbar, and now selector sub logo is visible here. You can click on this and check out the version. So right now I'm creating this tutorial with 4.6.7 version number. Okay, and these are the like very simple steps to get started with selector sub. So here there is no functionality. It is just to you can get this where to see the selector sub and important links. Cool. Now after installing selector sub, it might have opened one this link, test case studio. So you can also install this. This is the best recorder plugin out there to record your manual actions and generate the screenshot automatically. So this is really incredible, 5-star rated product. So we will highly recommend that you install this plugin as well, test case studio. So very useful. You can simply record everything. Okay, cool. So now selector sub is installed, and to see the setup after installing it, just open website into the new page, into the new tab. Do not open SelectorSub in the existing tabs. So like if this tab was open before we installed SelectorSub, so let's see what will happen if you open SelectorSub into the installed like already open tab. So by default, like when you will open the dev tools, let me just put the SelectorSub here this way. One second. By default, when you will open like dev tools, it opens like this. Okay, and here you will see the elements tab and lots of tabs are there, but SelectorSub is not visible, right? So SelectorSub will always be the last tab. Here you will have to click on two arrows, then there you will find SelectorSub. So here you open this is how SelectorSub opens. You can also drag and drop, or else like to see the better visibility, just expand this. Okay, so this is how SelectorSub open, and here you can find it. Here it is showing you this: check out the course to be expert in automation by SelectorSub creator. So if you want to be expert in XPath and selectors, so I have already created this amazing advanced XPath course and CSS selector, which you can recommend and take. It is very helpful and very useful for to learn XPath and CSS selector in DOM and about the web element DOM, etc. So please check out this, and it is available on Udemy. Okay, coming back. So now setup is ready. You can see the selector sub here, and always open selector sub into the new tab with the new website, or I mean any website, just open it in new tab once after installing it, or restart the browser to so that you don't face any kind of challenges. And please don't use it on blank tab. Like this is a blank tab, there is no URL. So if you right click and open dev tools here, you will see that SelectorSub will not work here because it always work for a web application. This is not a web application, this is a blank tab. Okay, there should always be a URL here in the address bar. You must be thinking this is a testing daily, this is a web application, right? No, this is another extension which is being offered by SelectorSub, absolutely free for community, where you can like, this shows you basically all the detailed information, all the articles and everything from different social media platform, from different blogs, articles, like this is from Cyprus, Twitter, and different forum. It used to show the articles, videos at one place, so you get, basically it keeps you updated with all the latest testing information. So please install it in your browser from SelectorSub website. Also it is available as a mobile app, so you can install it. Very helpful tool. Cool. Now let's open select google.com and we start with all these features. So the first one is auto generate selectors. How can we auto generate the selectors and XPath using SelectorSub? So you just right click, inspect the element, open SelectorSub. It will generate all possible selectors and XPath for this particular element which you have inspected here. So you see that relative CSS selector, relative XPath, index base XPath, and you scroll down, all those things are there. Test trigger path is also there. Test trigger path is basically the keyword name for that particular XPath. Like for this XPath is for which field? This is for search. If you inspect any other element like Google search, so it will tell you that this XPath is for Google search. So that is the test trigger path. If you want to learn more about it, you can click on this icon and you can learn, as well as you can check out this link like test trigger locators. So it will also, like, you can also learn from this blog written by Artem, CEO of test trigger. So you can check out this is very helpful information. And you can always trust on the XPath and CSS selector generated by SelectorSub. They are very stable and very robust. What a human being, right? It always provide better than that. Like here on SelectorSub website, if you go to this practice page is also very helpful page where you can practice any kind of UI automation, any scenario you can practice here. So it has like everything like shadow dom, iframe, nested shadow dom, iframe inside shadow dom, and svg elements, etc., all the scenarios. So in fact, like in the bottom you can check out like which all scenarios are there in this page covered. So very helpful page. Inspect the element here, let's say this one. So here you see that it is providing all those selectors here. So this is, you just have to inspect, and either you inspect by clicking on this Chrome DevTools inspector this way, or you right click and click on inspect, or you click on any DOM node here. So this is how you can generate the auto generate the XPath and CSS selector using selectors. Then editor. You can also use the SelectorSub as an editor to write your own XPath and CSS selector. And in fact, this is the very first smart editor, because earlier it is always been a perception that if you are using an XPath plugin, which means you are copying the XPath. No, SelectorSub was invented for this purpose, that you would be able to write your own XPath and CSS selector, and it will help you to learn with the XPath error handling feature, as well as it will be the very first smart editor for XPath and selectors, and it is the very first XPath like smart editor for XPath and selector. So suppose you want to write XPath or CSS selector for this element, you just start typing, and like an smart editor it will start suggesting the value, and you would be able to complete your XPath and CSS selector within few seconds like this. Amazing it is. And if you miss anything here, it will tell you that what wrong you are doing, like this is invalid XPath, close square bracket is missing. But same thing, if you verify here in DevTools, you would never be able to learn that what is wrong in your XPath, because it is showing 0 0. So this doesn't tell you that what's wrong in your XPath, or it is actually matching node, or what it is actually 0 or invalid. But SelectorSub will help you with that. So this is the smart editor. Like if you are writing CSS selector, you see that it auto suggest those value along with their occurrences, permutation combinations of attribute and attribute value, and here it shows CSS or XPath. Select this and done. So very fast you can write your own XPath and CSS selector like this. You can keep on adding as many as condition you want. So this is the smart editor. Here, like suppose you want to write a new XPath, there's a plus button to save this value right there in selector sub itself, click on this and the value will be saved here. You can anytime access this. You need not to copy this value and go back to some editor, paste it there, then come back and delete this and again write a new. No, you can write from here, you can save and access like this one. So very helpful. Then there are a lot more feature. Editor, we have seen XPath error handling and CSS selectors error handling. Then you can generate the access based XPath as well. Let me come to that point later. Before that, let me show you this feature, that there is a turn off auto generated mode. So if you don't want to see these auto generated selectors, you can keep it off. If you like while typing the XPath and CSS selector, you get these auto suggest, right? If you don't want to see those auto suggest, turn off this toggle. So this is the use of this toggle. Now it becomes like DevTools. Good part is that this will give you the right count, while DevTools doesn't give you always the right count. Like suppose, let's say there are how many links in this page? There are 84, but if you verify this XPath in DevTools, it tells you 86. Are there 86? No. Why it is showing 86? Because this is matching this string as well, and in fact DevTools itself says that find by string here. So this is not the right platform. Like Control F, it is not going to just give you the XPath match or CSS selector match. It is also giving you the string match. So that way it gives you more count many a times. So these are the use of these toggle buttons. Okay, now there is this AA button. What is the use of this? So you see that this XPath here. So if you edit this XPath and here I is capital, if we make it small, it will show 0. So how can we make these, or how can we generate these XPath, case insensitive XPath? So to generate them, you just click on this button and you see that now it has converted this XPath as a case insensitive, and with small I itself it is matching 1. So that is the use of this button. So you can generate the case insensitive XPath and CSS selector using SelectorSub. Also you can learn that how to do that. Then we were talking about access based XPath relative to other element. Most of the time we always try to write XPath based relative to other element, right? So that also you can auto generate here. Suppose you want to generate XPath for courses with respect to products. So here there is a button access, click on this, and now first inspect the products, then inspect the courses, and you see that we have generated XPath for courses with respect to products. Suppose you want to generate for enter email with respect to user email, first inspect user email, then inspect enter email, and here is the XPath for the enter email field with respect to user email. And if you ever feel like you forgot how to use this feature, or you again have to use that, check out this, I don't know, like how to use this and all, so don't worry, you need not to always come back to this tutorial. There is always tutorial with each and every feature in SelectorSub itself right there. So you see that this eye icon means this is the tutorial here for this particular feature. So you can always check out these tutorial right there with that particular feature. So don't worry that if you miss anything, you will always have the tutorial right there in SelectorSub tab itself. Like this, for this feature, this is the tutorial. For this access based XPath, this is the tutorial. So don't worry about that. Okay, now let's come back to this home page, main screen. Again, you click on this access and here it is. Move on to the next feature, attribute filter. Attribute filter is like something that it is generating with ID, but we don't want with ID. So in that case, you can uncheck this. It is generating with something else, some other attribute. Now, there are many situations where you will have the QA ID or data ID in your application generated. So in that case, you want to generate XPath and CSS selector with them, right? So that you can pass the attribute name here. Like let's say you want to generate with title here. So you just pass the title here, hit enter. Now you see that it has generated XPath and CSS selector with this attribute. So this will always be the first preference if you will pass any attribute, and that attribute will be available here. So it will be first preference. If with that it will not be able to make the unique, then it will try with something else. So this is the attribute filter. Then here you see that it is generating with XPath and CSS selector. Sorry, here it is generating XPath and all those things. But if you copy this, by the way, you can copy these values by clicking on this copy icon or anywhere here in the header. Like if you want to copy the CSS selector, you can click here and copy. You can copy by this XPath by clicking here or here, anywhere you can. And to edit this value, just click on the value and it will copy and paste the value here, and you can verify this here. Also, you see that whenever you will verify your XPath here, selectors will always show you one SSelector. This SSelector is basically the first matching node, first matching CSS selector for your uh, XPath. Like whatever XPath you have written here, suppose you are not able to make the unique that one, or you want to convert your XPath into CSS selector, like this XPath you have written, you have this XPath, you want to convert into CSS selector, just paste that here and it will give you the CSS selector for that. So this is basically the best CSS selector for your XPath, which SelectorSub automatically generate for you. So if you don't want to use XPath, you can use this CSS selector, because many people prefer CSS selector over XPath. So that's the reason we have this feature as well. Okay, now we were talking about like it is giving XPath and CSS selector and all those things. So if you copy this value and you go back to your editor, there you will always have, you don't paste the XPath like this, you always have to write some command on top of that, like either it could be at the rate find by, or it could be by.xpath, something like this, or it could be driver.find element, right? You will have to type that, you cannot just paste this one. So how can we save that time? Like, can we get this complete command itself? Yes. So here you see that there's a command feature, you click on this and now it is generating with complete command. You can simply copy this, come back to your editor and paste it here. So this way you can generate the complete command. It could be anything, like let's say you want to change something, like you are working in Cypress, you can select this and hit enter. You see that it is generating cy.get, cy.xpath, you can use them. If you are working with at the rate find by, something like this, it is generating with this as well. You can copy this value, paste it here, and don't worry, it also take care of that keyword name, like enter email. This XPath is for enter email, so that is also done there. You need not to waste time there. Great. Now suppose next feature is here attribute filter we have seen, command feature we have seen, locator page we want to generate. You can generate within few seconds the locators. Let's hide this attribute filter here. Okay, now we want to generate the locator page for a second. So what you can do, keep this command on and click on this, click to generate locator page button here, and you start inspecting the elements. Let's say products we want to generate, so for which all elements you want to generate XPath and selectors, that you just keep inspecting and you will see in SelectorSub the commands are getting generated. You simply copy this and go back to your editor, paste it, and your locator page is ready within few seconds. You see, isn't it amazing? So this is very helpful feature. You can generate in any format, like your command could be anything. Instructions are here, like how you can change the command, how to set the command, and this is a like separate tutorial just for this feature, so you can check it out like if you missed anything. And you can always see that for playwright command is there, for selenium python is there, so everything is already there. If anything else you are using, that you can add it. Cool. So this is how you can generate the locator page as well from SelectorSub. Then debugger to inspect invisible drop down element. So there are like lots of types of drop down as well, like this one, which you can right click and inspect. So for this kind of element drop down on which you can right click, you can have this feature in SelectorSub that you can copy the value from here. You can copy the XPath value, don't worry. Even you don't need to open SelectorSub tab as well, but we always recommend that you open SelectorSub tab, because there you will learn a lot of things. But yes, this feature is there that you can copy, but there are certain elements which you cannot inspect, like this on Flipkart. Suppose if you see that this drop down, right click, as soon as you right click they immediately disappear, that iPhone 14 thing. This, if you like right click, they immediately disappear. So how can we inspect such element? Or some elements like on Twitter there are bubble loaders, how can we inspect such bubble loaders? So let's see this. So here in SelectorSub we have this feature of debugger. What you have to do, you just have to click on the debugger, and this is the debugger. Click on this and within 5 seconds make this element visible here, and you will notice that it will stop this element after 5 seconds, and now you can inspect this element here. You see that we are able to inspect this element. Any element from the drop down you can inspect. So this is how you can inspect any element of such kind of drop down, and then you can see this what is the DOM of this element, or like whatever HTML for this element. Now, and once done, you can just click on this. Here on like Twitter, these bubble loader, how can we inspect such bubble loader? It is really a pain for the uh, our testers. So here, like, we will have to immediately start the debugger because these bubble loader immediately disappear, and we cannot, like, if we will refresh the page, debugger will execute. So what we will have to do here, we need to start debugger immediately as soon as the bubble loader start. We cannot start after 5 seconds. So we need to change the time. So here in the selector sub under customization, you have this feature of debugger start time. Make it 0. Come back and now refresh the page. As soon as you refresh, put your cursor above debugger and refresh the page, and immediate as soon as you see bubble loader, click on this debugger. Now you see that everything is stopped here, and you can just inspect this element. So this is how you can inspect such kind of bubble loaders as well, and this is really helpful. And you see that it is telling each and everything about that. So this is how you can inspect these bubble loaders and dynamic invisible elements using the debugger feature of SelectorSub. Also, we have created separate tutorial for this, so that also you can recommend if you ever miss about this feature. Then XPath healing feature is there. So suppose you want to, like, any UI got changed or something got changed and you want to verify all your XPath. This is really important feature because many times it happened UI got changed, then all XPath used to change. Many XPath in between, some XPath got changed. So how can we verify all of them in single shot without change, like verifying them one by one? So what you can do, you can just copy paste whole script in SelectorSub and verify them. Like, let me make it like wrong. So now if we copy this and paste it here in SelectorSub smart maintenance feature, this is the feature here. Click to, like, let me just show here. This is the feature XPath healing. Click on this and then click on this editor button, and here you paste this command, paste complete code, and here you have this command. Like, this is the command, because here we have this at find by XPath is equal to this. So don't worry about that, like how to set the command, that all you will get it. Just submit and here you will find this. So by the way, we verified these locators on Twitter, but they are not for Twitter, right? They are for this page. So we should always verify on that page for on for which those locators are. So let's come here and verify on this page, so you will get the right result. So we wanted to show you both the things. So now you see that because these selectors are for this page, so here it is showing 111, and whichever is 0, you just click on this, edit and fix that. Like right now it is 0, let us fix this, now 1. So this is how now we will copy this value and paste it in our code and fix it. So this is how you can fix all the XPath whenever there is a UI change immediately. So that's the really amazing feature, XPath healing. Then iframe, shadow dom, comments, etc. SelectorSub is really incredible. It supports every kind of element, like whatever it is, it will support. Like, you don't need to do anything extra, by the way. You just inspect the element. Like any element you inspect, it will tell you what it is. So this is simple. Okay, if any specific thing will be there in that element, like if you inspect this, oh wow, it is telling you alert input box is disabled, enable it to enter value. So it is telling you upfront that this box is disabled, please enable it. So you learn something new. Oh, if you will run the automation on this element, it will not be able to enter the value here, so you will have to make that uh, like you will have to enable that first. Then this one, if you by mistake, if you inspect this element, like this is a comment, so it will tell you, SelectorSub will tell you that this is a comment. If you don't have knowledge about DOM, you might not knowing that this is a comment, though here it is written. But in general, if you don't have the knowledge of like DOM, if you are a fresher or new someone, then in that case it will help you to learn about that as well. If any element which cannot be automated, it will tell you that this element is not interactable through Selenium. So it is telling you upfront that this is not interactable, use something else. So very helpful, like it saves a lot of time. Then if any element will be inside shadow DOM, it will tell you that this element is inside shadow DOM. You see that? And it also gives you this script as well, which you can directly use in your automation. And here you can also verify the css selector for shadow DOM element. But if you verify this right XPath here in dev tools, you see that it is showing 00, even though this is correct. It has generated with title. You know why? Because we have entered title here. If you remove that, now it is generating with id. So don't get confused, it is all correct here. And it will also help you to learn that if you try to verify XPath inside shadow DOM, then it will tell you that XPath doesn't support shadow DOM. So you will learn something every time new. If any element is inside multiple shadow DOM, it will also tell you that this is inside multiple, like 2 shadow DOM. If it is closed shadow DOM, that also it will tell you that this is closed shadow DOM. And how to handle that, for that also we have created that. You can watch this video. So please always check out what SelectorSub tells you, everything there. Then iframe, like let's check out these features. Iframe also it supports. So if any element is inside iframe, it will tell you that this element is inside iframe. This is the iframe XPath, and these are the selectors for that inspected element. So this also you get it from here. You don't need to waste time to write iframe XPath or any selector for that particular element. If it is inside multiple iframe, that also it tells you that this element inside 2 nested iframe. So this is also you got it, getting here. If any element will be inside iframe or shadow DOM, everything it tells you that this element is inside. Like for an example, consider click to practice shadow DOM inside iframe scenario. So let's see this one. So let us just inspect this element and open SelectorSub. Here you see that it is telling you everything, like this element is inside shadow DOM, this is the script to handle that, and then this shadow DOM is inside iframe. So everything it tells you, and saves a huge amount of time. So this is really helpful. Then SVG also it supports. Let me quickly show you SVG. So here if we go to practice page, so if any element, if that will be SVG, it tells you that this is SVG element. Like you just inspect this element, it tells you that this is SVG. And if you try to do anything wrong, it will tell you that SVG invalid, SVG XPath, it doesn't support. So this also helps you in learning as well every time. Customize UI, you can also customize the UI here. You see that customize button is there. If you want to change anything, that you can change from here. If you don't like anything, like let's say you don't want to see these toggles, you don't need the tag name, absolute XPath, partial, link text, name, and all those things you don't want to see in like there, you just want to see XPath or something which you need, then you can just customize each and everything here. And suppose this system information also, by the way, another great feature in SelectorSub, that you can see that this shows you the browser version, browser name, resolution, time, and as well as the OS, on which OS and OS version you are. If you don't want to see that, also you can hide from here for the better view. And now let's go back. Here you see inspect any element, and you will be having very minimal information here, whatever you need. So this way you can customize the UI as well. Now you see that only those selectors we have here upfront which we need, nothing else is there, no toggle, no interruption, anything. So very simple, you can customize. And at any point of time, if you want to reset everything, there is a reset button, click on this and done. So this is how you can like make the best use of SelectorSub and all the features of SelectorSub. Here at the footer, you see that there are like some floating things are showing. So these are basically very useful information we try to show you guys, all the testers, which is relevant to you, that what new tools, what new events and everything is coming, any new tutorial, any new blog, so that we used to show. Please click on this, check out them, like what we are trying to show you, what which is helpful for you guys. So please check out them. We used to keep showing the important information for you all. Yeah. Then yeah, so these are the couple of amazing features of SelectorSub. Will highly request and recommend each one of you that please add a small review here, your review and ratings really encourage us to work hard for you guys, and any good review always inspire us. We used to see each and every review and reply to you guys. So please add review, give us a good rating, and motivate us to work hard for you guys. And please don't give the bad rating. It's our humble request. If you have any issue, anything, always connect with us on our website. You can always do the live chat, or you can raise a bug or feature request here on GitHub or Bagasura. But please give a good review. Also you can like, if you want any help here, you can under support also there, but this doesn't give you guys notification. So always raise a ticket here, and that way you will get the notification. Also on SelectorSub website you have the live chat option, so you can anytime chat with us. Yes, so yeah, these were the great features of SelectorSub. Great. So now for SelectorSub we also have the pro version. And don't worry, like, pro version is not like actually pro version that you will have to like pay a lot. It is almost free. So we had to introduce, because under SelectorSub, if you see today, we are providing lots of other free tools as well. And to run the SelectorSub, such a huge community, we have to raise some funds, because we are absolutely like, we haven't raised any kind of funding, or no big company behind us. So yes, so here you see that like SelectorSub, Test Case Studio, all these free tools are there. So that's the reason we have introduced SelectorSub Pro. And Pro is like basically for those people, those who are working in industry, for enterprise companies, and want to go next level and increase their productivity by 3x 4x. That's where it is very helpful. So if you click on this upgrade button, it will take you to the SelectorSub Pro page, or you can directly from the website as well, you will find the SelectorSub Pro here. So it's very simple. You see that just $2.5 per month it is required. So if you want to use pro version, you can install in any of these browsers. It is available for all major browsers: Chrome, Firefox, as Opera, Brave, and all. And what you have to do, first you have to add pro version in your browser, then you have to check out the plan and take the free trial. You can take 1 month free trial, and then after that you will get the login credential. With that, you log in and you are all set. You can also check out, like, compare or check out the plans here. You see that SelectorSub Pro, if you click here, you can see that what all features are there in free and pro. You can see the comparison, as well as you can also check out the plans there, that what are the plans, just $2.5 per month, like it is showing here. Okay, so now here let me just directly show, or like you can see it here, like free, premium, business. So this is just $2.5 per month. You can right away take 1 month free trial for whole team, for yourself, and like you will not be charged anything. And then if you didn't like, you can click cancel anytime your plan by yourself. All those features are there. Okay, cool. Here also you can check out how to get started with the pro version, so that also is there. Now let me quickly show you what all features are there in pro version. So you have, like we have seen this in the free version, that you can generate the access based XPath. But there you have seen that we have to click this inspector of Chrome again and again. But here we have our own inspector in SelectorSub Pro. If you select this and then you just click here, and XPath is generated for courses with respect to products. Suppose you want to generate for enter email with respect to user email label, first inspect this, then inspect this. You need not to select this back and forth. So this is really fast. Then if you suppose want to generate the page object model, you see that how fast it is. Click on this code, but like here, code and POM, and now you select this inspector here, and you see how fast you can generate the page locator page in SelectorSub Pro. You just inspect elements and you see boom boom boom, all of them is generated. If you want to change the command, here you will find more command options in SelectorSub Pro, unlike like in free version. So you can select any of this command as well. So this is really good. And here, one really amazing feature is this, the selectors healing, where you can verify all your selectors, like not just XPath. Like in free version we were having only XPath healing, but in pro version we have selectors healing, where you can verify XPath and all types of selectors. Like it could be XPath, ID, CSS selector, everything, it will be verified here. So like suppose for an example, you have XPath, CSS selector, XPath, ID, etc., these one. So you just copy them come here, click on selector ceiling, paste all those values, and here you can select the command. So by default it is selected here, submit, and you see all the XPath and CSS selectors are verified and showing the matching nodes. So this is really incredible feature in Pro version. Then you can customize the UI as well. Here you can generate the playwright selectors as well. By default it is off, so you can just check this PW selectors to generate the playwright selector, and now you see that if you will inspect any element, you will be able to generate the playwright selectors here as well, and you can verify as well. Also there is another great feature that in Pro version, that you can verify the stability of XPath. Like if any XPath which is generated here, and it is not like this class looks like very much dynamic, so you can just click on this and SelectorSub Pro will tell you that whether this is stable or unstable here. So this is another incredible feature. Attribute filter, one more option is there, like without attribute also you can generate. So likewise there are amazing features, lots of customizations are there, more attribute filter feature is there, better inspector, own inspector is there, dynamic XPath and all, selector ceiling, customize option. So this is really helpful and productivity booster. Please give it a try, take a like free trial of this, and it is just not even a coffee cost, almost free, and it will also help us. This is a kind of like, it will be a kind of donation from your end to run all the free tools, and so that like we can add more and more free tools and keep running this selectors of show for free for all the like for whole community and all those who need it. Yeah, so this is SelectorSub Pro. Apart from this, let us take some of the FAQs here. Is it safe and secure? Yes, this is absolutely safe and secure. So like if you have seen this, SelectorsHub is like absolutely safe and secure. We don't save any kind of your user data. It runs absolutely in your local. So here in Chrome Store you can see that it is it got the verified featured batch here. And under privacy practices you can see that the developer has disclosed that it will not collect or use your data. So it is, we have already told to Chrome Store, and that's where they have approved it. It is runs offline, you can see this as well. Also you can just like on SelectorSub website, if you search here, you see this, is it safe or secure, in the SelectorSub page. So you can check out this. We have I have already like written in detail this blog and article where you can find this. Like here it is written in very detail that whether this is safe and secure. So yeah, it is taking time. So here in this page, under SelectorSub product page, you can see this how safe and secure it is. And if it is blocked in your company, you can check out this video that how you can like get it unblocked. If it is blocked, you can easily get it unblocked. Almost in every company it is being used. Then not able to find in dev tools. If you're not able to find in dev tools, so we have like already shown it to you guys that please expand this, and that's way you would be able to find it. It's not working in for my application. If it is not working, please check out, make sure, please check out for some other website. Many a times it happened that people try it on blank tab like this. So there should always be a URL in the address bar. Extension doesn't work for blank tab. So please make sure that you try it for a website or try it for different website. And also please add this testing daily in your browser if you haven't added. This is amazing tool which gives you the latest testing information, articles, tutorial from different forum is like uh, official blogs of Selenium, Cypress, and different WordPress websites related to testing, Twitter, and then YouTube, Medium, Lambda test and all. It gives you the feed at one place and keep you updated with the related testing information. It is also available as a mobile app, so please check out this on the SelectorSub website. This is absolutely free community product developed for community. This is really incredible and amazing. Then how to get help if stuck. So if you anytime get stuck, you can always connect with us here on the live chat, or you can raise a issue or bug if you have anything, any improvement needed. So here click on the SelectorSub logo and you will find the Bagasura and GitHub link. You can raise ticket anywhere. Any license required to use it? No license required to use the free version. This is absolutely free to use for the community, so license is not required. Does it work for mobile apps? It doesn't work for mobile web apps. Oh sorry, it doesn't work for mobile native apps, but it works for the mobile web apps. So suppose this is the website, and if you use it on mobile, so like this it is showing. So here you can use it on mobile as well, for mobile web, but not for mobile apps. Native apps it doesn't work, but mobile web it works. So yes, this is how you can use selectors for mobile web. Yeah, so that's pretty much about the selectors hub. And I will request all of you that please uh, share selectors hub. Feel free to write articles, blog on selectors hub. Please like this video and share it with others. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any upcoming innovation updates from us. We used to keep adding more and more tools for the community to make our testers life easy. That's our goal. With that, thank you so much for watching.